What's going on, Falcons fans? It's your boy Playboy Darian back here with the first episode of Dirty Bird Diner Thursdays. Finna drop that intro so we can get into this information about the preseason, roster cuts, and what your boy feel about it so far. Let's get it. Yes, sir. This is the first episode of Dirty Bird Diner Thursdays, man, with your host, Playboy Darian. And we're going to talk about preseason, but what better way to kick the first episode off with a celebratory little swig, a little drink. I'm not going to show no brand, but we're going to take a little swig of this today, man. We're going to talk about the preseason. Yes, sir. We're going to talk about the preseason, man, and what I think so far. It's going to be a quick video, man. Pretty much, first of all, let me say thank y'all for anybody that is tuning in, anybody that is following the channel, anybody that is supporting Dirty Bird Diner and myself. I would like to say thank you. Appreciate you for everything that y'all doing. And if you can, you want to help out a little bit, just share the video, like the video, comment, so we can get more Atlanta Falcons fans, into the mix, man. And so we can come on over here to the Dirty Bird Diner where the birds fly south. You understand me? So first of all, the preseason is officially over. It is officially over, man. Atlanta had 3 games. I mean, it's the preseason. It is what it is. It's not really, the best example of what we have to offer as far as the roster on the field and things of that nature, but pretty much just give us an idea of what we have for possible depth, camp bodies, and stuff like that. My opinions as far as like the preseason were just like the first game we started off kind of slow, not really being able to tackle a lot, not really executing with the run game. We just kind of look like a team that hasn't did anything on the offseason. We seen Michael Penix come out and play quarterback for a couple of drives and do a couple of passes here and there. But I think overall it just, versus Miami, it just wasn't necessarily something that we could hang our heads on. But it's preseason. I mean, it's nothing else that I really expect from preseason other than, us just seeing what we have as far as the camp body, stuff like that. Most all the starters didn't play. Most all the starters didn't even get a chance to see the field because I guess Raheem and Terry didn't want to risk any injuries and anything happening or going wrong. So as far as preseason, any concerns I may have, which I'm sure most Falcons fans do, is the fact that we didn't see more of Michael Penix. I thought that maybe we could potentially see him in the last 2 games, maybe just for a couple of drives, maybe a half, just to see what a lot of people are talking about in camp, him being able to read defenses and him doing good and him being able to challenge Kirk Cousins. Not being able to see that, just like we did with Ritter and Arthur Smith, it is kind of nerve-wracking, but I also understand not wanting to put your future quarterback in harm's way just for a preseason game, because who knows if that ACL, not ACL, but if that ligament gives out on Kirk Cousins again and he's not able to play, then we have Michael Penix able to start and we can see him going forward later on after any possible injuries or anything like that. So I can understand us not being able to put Michael Penix in danger and in harm's way. So but that probably was one of my only concerns. Other than that, not really seeing anybody on the D line stand out when it came to pressures and rushes and stuff like that. Like, I know that we went and we signed we got I can't even think of the guy's name right now. Out the top of my head. Judon. We went and got Judon from the Patriots after we seen an injury from one of our draft picks. I really didn't see anybody stand out other than maybe Chris Harrison, like the first game. He was showing some signs of him stepping up. I was also concerned as far as why Ebiketie was out there during the first preseason game. Because that kind of made me feel like, is coach trying to see more development? Is he not performing well in the practices? What's going on with this? Because I thought Ebiketie was going to be our rusher on the other side of Judon. But maybe they just wanted to get more reps with him, maybe get him loosened up, maybe get them more ready for the season itself. But I hope that we can see an improvement on the defensive side of the ball, especially in the trenches this year. I mean, I know you got Great, I know you got Ayamada, you bring on Judon, but I still want to see that other edge be somewhat productive as well too. Harrison and Ebiketie, I'm really gonna be keeping a close eye on, just to see if they can bring the juice this year, man, so we could try to change up this defensive line. We also went and got Justin Simmons to pair back there with Jesse Bates. I'm gonna take another drink for that because we now officially have 2 all-pro safeties in the backfield, which to me is the NFL splash bros. If you would let me say that, okay? So yeah, so I feel like Atlanta did a good job by bringing in that type of veteran leadership, that type of depth, and being able to bring that to Atlanta, because it's been a while since we've had marquee player names ever since the last regime, Julio, Matt Ryan, and all those people. And then after that period of time, it kind of just went downhill. We had to get out of cap hell. We had to rebuild the team, had to get back into a certain situation. So I'm glad to be able to see us finally being able to attract certain type of players, and that the front office seems to know exactly what they're doing when it comes to managing the money and the contracts and stuff like that. So I expect big things from this defense, man. I expect us to be able to at least be a top 15, top 10 defense for sure. I expect us to be a top 15, top 10 offense based on the talent we have and us being able to pay Kirk Cousins and get a quarterback that can distribute the ball in Atlanta. I see no reason that this team does not win the NFC South. I also do not understand why this team is not a Super Bowl contender, even though different sources and ESPN and different media outlets have their opinion. But at the end of the day, we have the talent, we have the defense, we have the I feel like the scheme in place to be able to do what we need to do for this team to get where we need to be. So, anyways, let's talk about the roster cuts, man. So the team started roster cuts. Now this video is going to drop on Thursday. So when you guys see this video, they will have made more roster cuts to narrow down to the 53-man roster. This video is being pre-recorded because I'm having to figure out my schedule, man. When you're trying to do this and you got a job, it's hard, especially if you're working late and you got a family and you got to do things, man. So like I said, that's why I appreciate y'all if y'all are tuning in, or if you watching, or if you're able to just hang in there with me, man, as I try to get this content flowing. But the roster cuts. So let me show y'all what we got right here, man. We got on Sunday, the Falcons announced that they released the following 13 players. We got receiver Josh Ali. Y'all can read, man. We got Zach Bailey, Luke Dennis, cornerback William Harper, Story Jackson, Jerry Jones-Smith, John LeGlue, Donovan Mutton, John Paddock, Austin Stogner, Trey Vavel, Bradley Anai, and tight end Jordan Thomas. Now, I am not going to lie to you guys. I know a lot of people say that they didn't expect a lot of these people to make the roster, and we still got a few other people that could possibly be cut as well. And then a couple of these guys could be added to the practice squad. But one or two of the guys that stood out from this list to me that possibly I hope to see come back and make at least the practice squad was definitely Donovan Mutton. That 45 was over the field everywhere. I seen that 45 over the field in every single game during every tackle, sideline to sideline. It reminded me of my favorite previous number 45 before the decline. You know what I'm saying? Deion Jones, Debo. But I hope that they don't let this guy just slide underneath the radar and we don't see him at all again. I mean, I know we are going to be good at the depth that we have as far as linebacker right now, but I feel like this guy should be able to come back and be a practice squad member and possibly later on for if we have any injuries or anything like that. And then in the last game, the guy Bradley Anae, he reminded me of one of the edge rushers that they had with the Saints, that went to Cincinnati. I think Hendrickson. The way he's built and the way he was playing, he reminded me of something in that type of player or that type of caliber. Uh, and I feel like those two guys for me, they stood out. They stood out as far as additions that could be possibly added or some type of players that we can have on the practice squad. Like I said, I understand that we already kind of have most of the roster figured out and most of that situated. But I definitely seen those guys come across my screen and make me notice as to that we possibly have some more depth and talent in Atlanta. Somebody that I'm definitely waiting on them to cut, waiting to see if they officially get cut is definitely going to be Taylor Heinicke. Look, I don't know how you guys feel about the third quarterback position. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like if you look at teams like Minnesota, who lost, they lost, JJ, and now they got to deal with just dealing with their backup quarterback. Could we possibly be trading Heinicke later on in the season to somebody like Minnesota, somebody in backup like the Rams? Because Stetson Bennett didn't look good at all in the preseason. I don't know. Maybe the Cowboys have another third option that they want to look at because I'm not gonna lie. All I seen was interceptions being thrown when I watched some of the Cowboys highlights. Even till our rival to the Saints, I know Derek Carr didn't play. I did see Spencer Rattler did look pretty good. But their other quarterback, I'm not sure. I think we're gonna probably keep a third quarterback just because of security to make sure that the quarterback position is not going without. But from what I saw from Heinicke last season under Arthur Smith, what I saw from him in the preseason against people that are not even starting caliber players, unless you want to talk about them playing against Jacksonville, I'm gonna be honest, man. I see Taylor Heinicke becoming trade bait. I do not see him being on this final roster. But we'll see what Terry decides. We'll see what Raheem decides. We'll see how they go as far as that. But yeah, man. So far, I'm glad preseason is over. We are less than 2 weeks away from the first game on September 8th. We play Pittsburgh. We're going to talk more about that on the next episode of Dirty Bird Diner, man. Like I said, this is the first official episode to you guys. Dirty Bird Thursdays, man. Dirty Bird Diner Thursday. It's just a day for us to come and talk, especially during the season. Those days where we might have an Amazon game or right before, we go into the weekends and have games. We could just, come together, chop it up, like the Last Supper or the last drink, whatever y'all want to do. And like I said, that's what we're gonna do. Me and my guy, Mr. Prime Time, Mr. Deion Sanders. You feel me? We gonna keep it popping here at the Dirty Bird Diner, man. So yeah, I appreciate anybody that's coming through, watching the video, supporting the channel. Like I said, we definitely drop some suggestions in the comment box. Let me know what you guys want to talk about. This is going to be more of like a just sit down and talk about what's going on. let loose, get off work, have a nice conversation, and just come and chill with your boy, man. So like I said, man, appreciate y'all for dropping through the Dirty Bird Diner. This is Playboy Darian, and I would definitely catch y'all on next week's episode.